when I say your time investment is for creating something out of nothing. You guys heard me say that, right? That's what this is, right? At this juncture, at this crossroad, when we launch that opportunity meeting, I expect every single one of you to promote hard. Make that phone call, bring guests. Let's launch a successful event next week. That way it's going to create FOMO, excitement. People want to be a part of something bigger, and then you're going to see an automated business, okay, guys? So I want to thank you for sticking it through for these past 9 weeks. I'm really, really excited to put this education to the test next week. So with that said, my part here is done. The next gentleman I'm going to bring up, he's my brother, mentor, serving you every week. On a Tuesday, Wednesday night, I'm calling him. You know what he says? Stop calling me. I'm working on my training. I got to go. Click. That's how committed he is to you guys. So without further ado, get up out of your seats. Let's give a round of applause for National Director, Mr. Stephen Ray. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you guys. We'll see if these microphones work, man. If not, I might just have to kick it up a notch. You guys don't want me to yell, because I get loud. Everybody, please let the microphone work. We don't hear you yell. What a fun time, man. Chris did an amazing job. That orientation is literally everything. Like, that's one of the most important components of our business. And it's like, you just keep watching it over and over and over again. Every Tuesday, you just keep it. It's like, Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. The key is when you launch brand new people, next week we're going to be talking about launching new planners. You want to make sure no matter what, right, that you have the ability to be able to take them through an orientation. It's all about growth and development and teaching you guys all how to be able to teach others, okay? That's really what we're doing here tonight. This subject, whoo, man, I'm pumped. Closing is my favorite thing to teach, and it's such an amazing skill set. Once you have it under your belt, like literally, it's one of those skills that can 10x your income immediately. Literally can 10x, like you can do 1 million presentations, but if you don't close anybody, you don't get anybody started, you don't enroll them in the business, then guess what happens? You make no money. You understand? You can show the products to 1 billion people, but if you don't get any of them to sign up as customers, guess what? You don't make any money. So learning how to do this is obviously one of the most important essential factors. So we're going to be going over some great information. You guys have got your handouts. Real quickly, I know some of you, this is your first university. You want to make sure that you get your card, okay? And the reason being is because once you graduate from this university, basically what's happening is you set yourself up for success, okay? And obviously you guys all know, right? We're going to be doing some exciting recognition coming up. Working on getting a regional training here. Flying in a special leader for you guys, doing a special Saturday event, huge event. We'll promote big for it, have everybody come out from far and wide, and we'll be doing the ceremonies there for the graduating class. And I think that's going to be we're looking at no, it's not the 30th. It's not the 24th and not the weekend before. The weekend before that I'm going to be in Mexico doing an event, and then the 24th I'm going to be in San Jose doing an event. But that following weekend is when we're looking for it. So get ready for that. That's going to be unbelievably exciting. And I know many of you right now, maybe you're missing a course or two or whatever because life comes up. Everything's coming back around. If you graduate, obviously you guys all know, if you graduate from the university twice, you get your MBA. And that's a massive bank account. And then you get your PhD, I think, is how it happens. But we're going to be doing some special recognition for the people that do that. But here's how it works. Let me just kind of go through this real fast. You guys all know today's the deadline. We'll be talking about that later. For the early bird registration is going to be ending tonight. I think probably all of you have already got yourself registered for that event. Obviously, August 7th, 8th, and 9th. We're all going to Vegas. Everybody's going to be there. Nobody's going to miss it. It's going to be too much fun, okay? This week is closing and objections. And this is so critical. Because closing and objections isn't just about getting somebody started in the business or getting somebody started as a customer. Overcoming objections is also leadership, okay? And the reason being is because when you work with people, if they're not, and I'm going to talk more about this a little bit, if somebody's not running hard, okay, if somebody's not giving it everything that they got, if they're not doing their absolute very best, okay, the reason why is because they're holding on to some objection on why they're not moving forward. And it's your job to find out what that objection is and to remove it. So overcoming objections is by far an essential skill set, not just in Riman, also in parenting, also in navigating your relationship with your significant other. All that stuff is basically how to overcome objections. I know you're like, what? How is that possible? I'm telling you, it's possible, okay? It's definitely what it takes, okay? It's how to understand what's holding somebody back from absolutely unlocking their greatness, right? In every area of their life. So we're going to talk about that tonight. So let's get into it, okay? Obviously, we got to get this ugly guy out of here. Here we go. So, whoa, okay, we missed the first one, okay? That's where you start off. So the best openers make the best closers. The best openers make the best closers. If you don't open somebody up, and I usually do a demonstration, but I'm going to show a picture about this one, and we'll go over this in a second, right? But the best openers make the best closers. You should have your hand out. If you're missing a handout or whatever, just put your hand up. You want to be filling in the blanks, obviously, as you do this. So everybody should have a handout that looks like this, Module 8, and then there should be some missing blanks. Module 9. Did I put Module 8 on the top? No, I just read that wrong. I got to get new glasses. From staring at a screen making this stuff all. But you want to make sure you have this, and there's a missing piece. Okay, you'll notice there's an underlined area. And that underlined area is a missing word. And that, so you guys understand, it's on the PowerPoint and it's underlined. Making it basically foolproof. Making it Tim-proof. But what happens is you're going to learn 10 times more by following along. They do this at my church, right? They do the fill in the blank, man. And every time I'm like, let's go, saddle back. So it works everywhere. I'm teaching, okay? So here it is, closing and overcoming objections, okay? The 4 stages of learning. This is for your notes, okay? The best example is a baby, right? An unconscious incompetence, okay? When you're a baby, you don't know how to walk. Would you agree with that? No baby pops out of the womb and just takes off walking, right? They don't even know what walking is. So they don't know what they don't know, right? So you're unconsciously incompetent, okay? Incompetent. And then what the next stage is, you start realizing that everybody else is walking and you're just getting carried around. So then you become what we call a conscious incompetent. You know that you don't know. It's how you learn anything. You know that you don't know. That's stage 2. Stage 3 is what we call a conscious competent. Okay, all this stuff I was talking about my mentors. You guys gotta realize I've got 45 plus journals at home that are booked, just full of information. And this is all the stuff that I think that I've learned throughout the years, right? And this is one of them, right? A conscious competent. That's when you know, okay, but you really got to focus on it. My granddaughter's that way right now. She's walking, she can't stop walking, but she can't walk straight. I go, oh my God, you look like your grandma after a bunch of drinks. Some of you party with my wife, you know. Julian is like, yeah. Jill knows how to have fun. Conscious competent, right? So if you drink enough drinks, you can become a conscious competent again. Oh, God. I'm glad she's not here. She'd kill me. But anyway, stage 4 is when you become an unconscious competent, right? Basically, you don't need to think about it. You just do it without even trying. And that's what happens in this business. Literally, if any of you guys are on the 4 o'clock call on Wednesday that Annie did, that was like unconscious competent. Like he was coming home, he just flew in there, didn't even look at the slide deck, throw it on, let me go. And he just nailed it. I'm like, bro, you didn't even look at it, dude. That was like, that's a professional. You know what I mean? Like you could just wake me up out of my sleep and say, jump on a Zoom, Tim, and sign people up. It's like easy to do. Like it literally is. Like this business is second nature. It's hard for me not to do it the right way. It's hard for me to do it. But it's because I've been doing it for so long. And it's the same thing's gonna happen to you. Just like all of you know how to walk. Have you noticed that? Right? You knew how to do it. How did you learn how to do it? Right? At one point you couldn't do it. At one time you were just laying there. You didn't know what walking was. Learning anything is no different. The difference here is it pays big money. You're like, walking's essential, right? But it's definitely doesn't pay well. If it did, we'd all be wealthy, right? So anyways, those are the 4 stages of learning for your notes. Hopefully you got all that. Let's move forward. How to fill an empty water bottle. This is great information, Tim. Okay? I usually do a demonstration when I talk about closing, but I thought Tally's going to be here. She'll narc me out, and I'll get in big trouble if I start spilling water everywhere, and then I can see me slipping on it. So step number 1, you got to find an empty water bottle. Would you guys agree with that? You got to find an empty bottle. Right? If you don't have an empty bottle, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to be able to fill it, right? So first you have to find an empty bottle. That's just like finding somebody to talk to. Okay? Number 2 is you have to open the bottle. That's just like when you sit down with somebody, you have to first open their mind. Some of you don't do an opening. You just start pouring on people. You're like, I don't know why people aren't getting started. Because you're trying to pour into a bottle that is not open yet. You've got to learn how to open it. Now, step number 3 is pour into the bottle. Okay, you got to pour into the bottle. That's share with them the information. You can't just not share with them the information. You got to let them know. And brevity is usually the key. So you have to find an empty bottle of water, open the bottle, pour into the bottle, and then guess what? Step number 4 is what? Close the bottle. If you don't close the bottle, you're going to get water all over the place. Mainly if you don't in your backpack, right? So we have to understand that. That's enrolling them into Riman. Most people think closing is the most important. Now, in leadership, in 2 weeks, I'm going to get into pouring. I'm going to do some presentation training in leadership. But I can't talk about closing without talking about opening. So we're going to get into opening, okay? And this is basically the 7 tips to becoming an effective closer, okay? And this is the 7 tips on becoming an effective opener, excuse me. We always edify the presenter. Like anybody knows that, everybody does that. Whoever's going to be doing the presentation, right? If you're connecting somebody with somebody else, right? Peek and pass, what we call. And that peek is P-I-Q-U-E. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Peek and pass is spelled that way. I spelled it wrong for many years until somebody smart said, hey, you're spelling peek wrong. I'm like, what? There's a Q in it. I'm like, all right, dude, you're on one. There's no Q in peek, bro. I know this stuff. Sure enough. Words for Scrabble. Okay. Anyways, edification of the messenger will raise the level of impact of the message. So if you get somebody on a Zoom, let's say you're bringing, like tonight we had Christy Belliston and we had Chris Kim doing the Zoom. And tell me if this microphone's going out, because I'd rather just yell. Okay? I think Tally left.
You're good.
She's like, you know what? I've had enough of this microphone. But anyways, if whoever's doing the presentation, I'm edifying the heck out of them. Why? Because that's how I'm gonna get my person to sign up. You guys get what I'm saying? When you're new, like some people are like, oh, you know who my favorite presenter is? If they do it, I'm gonna promote it. If they don't, I'm like, oh my God. Basically what you're doing is you just have no sense of this business. You understand? Because it doesn't matter. The number 1 person that I signed up in my first 6 months in network marketing, this guy ended up making millions with me. And he literally came to the worst presenter that we had in the company at the time. He saw it. He's like, if this guy can do it, I know I can do it. This was back 30 years ago. And I'm telling you guys this because what you have to realize is it's the message. But if you promote the messenger, the message is going to come across. So I was just talking great about this guy. Sure enough, he had no idea. So you just always promote whoever's the presentation person, okay? So you edify the presenter. You guys all know that. Number 2 out of the 7 tips is this. We always expect people to get started 100%, okay, with a premium starter set. Like I hear people like trying to get somebody started with like a smaller set. I'm like, just get them as a customer, dude. Like, what are you doing? If I get somebody started with a 300-point set, what have I just done? I set them up to lose. They're gonna get basically one product. How are they gonna even promote the company? You guys get what I'm saying? They're gonna be walking around with one bottle. They're gonna be stingy with product, number 1, on their own face, so they're not gonna get a good glow. Number 2, they're not gonna really promote the products. They don't even have all the products. When you do that, it's not like I won't let somebody get started with a 300-point set. I'm not like, hey, you get out of here. But I will tell them, I say, you probably should be a customer first instead of a distributor, okay? And the reason being is because if they're going to dip their toe in the water, they're not going to become successful 9 times out of 10 anyways, okay? So confidence is contagious, but so is lack. If you're closing for a basic kit, you look like you lack confidence, and the prospect will obviously will be able to sense that, okay? So they'll be able to know that. If you're like, just get in, or I know nobody does this, but imagine being like, just get in as a distributor for $20. It's like, dude, I'd rather sell them a cream. You know what I mean? Because there's 0% chance they're going to be successful without any products. You know what I mean? Like, it's like buying a vending machine. You'd be like, no, I'm not going to put any chips in there. It's like, all right, you're crazy. And it's the worst culture you create. How you bring people in, always remember this. I taught this a few weeks ago. How you bring them in is how you bring them what? Up. How I recruit somebody, I'm already teaching them how to do the business. You understand? So you want to make sure you do it the right way. Always. Okay? Don't be begging people in your business. You're the one with the opportunity. You're the one that's going to be retired. You're the one who's going to become wealthy. Where are they going to be at in the next 2 years? They'll just check where they were 2 years ago, and they're going to be in the exact same place. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, not to think so naive. Like, people's life doesn't change if they don't change. It's like common sense. So when I sit down with somebody, I already know your life is going to be what your life already looks like in the next 2 years. Now, if you get started in business, guess what? We just open up doors to unlimited possibilities. Mainly if you work with me, right? You guys got this university system. You guys should have so much confidence. You can't go through this university program and not become successful. You can't. How in the world could you learn this information and still not know how to do it? It's impossible. Everything I know, I'm teaching you guys this. There's not one thing that I've got that is not in this university program. They're not like, all right, this is the hidden stuff that I only give to the people I really care about. No, this is it. You're taking 30 years of what I've learned, 42 journals that I've got full of information that are in a locked, humidified box. It's for, if somebody gave me a box for cigars, I'm like, I don't smoke, dude, but I don't want to tell him that, but I'll put my journals in there. It's like, dude, my journals are a fortune. Like, I could look through my journals all day long. I could be like, oh my God, I can go back to any date, any time. Be like, remember when we went from basically nothing to 100,000 a month in 4 weeks? Let me go back to that time frame. And I know exactly what I said because my wife was working at the time, and I go, take some notes so I know how I can get better. So I have all the documentation there. Anything I've ever done, it's all documented. You see what I mean? Trainings that I sit through, I go to church with my journal, and I'm just going through journals. I'm dead serious. People think I must be like stealing stuff. You know what I mean? Like, what's this guy, another pastor from another church? You know what I mean? My pastor, I gotta go and be like, what are you doing here, bro? You sit right in the front row every single time with a journal on the edge of your chair taking notes. You jacking my message? That's how I operate, man. Because I don't get through stuff, I get from it. Like, I'm not coming to a training like this, not absorbing everything. Like, I'm taking all you got. You guys see that? I'm taking everything. I tell you, I'm just gonna absorb all this information. My mentor told me, gotta be a sponge. What's a sponge do, right? Absorbs and gives it to other people. Here it is. We have one chance to make a first impression. Okay, remember, the body never lies. Make eye contact, smile, gentle touches build trust, and appropriate attire. Okay? You don't have to be suited and booted every time you do a presentation. When I do Zooms at home, I don't get suited and booted most of the time. Last Friday I had to because Chris had a suit on. I'm like, okay, can't let you look too good without me. So I put a suit on too. I was like, okay, raising the bar. But you want to make sure you look the part, right? You don't want to come like in basketball shorts and like Julian did his first meeting. He had no idea what he was doing. He came to an event. He said, "What? This is business? I got a freaking tank top on." Ended up buying a Riman shirt. He's like, "Are we signing up in Riman? Are we gonna do this? Tell me for sure, because I'm about to buy a T-shirt if we are." I swear to God, the truth. He started rocking her. Imagine a guest wearing a Riman shirt. Okay. So here we go. Number 4. We always sit next to the prospect. Never across the table from them. Let me explain why. Sitting next to a prospect rather than across breaks down the physical and psychological barriers, transforming a confrontational meeting into a collaborative, partnership-oriented meeting. Like when you're doing a one-on-one at a Starbucks and you're sitting across the table from somebody, whoo! Might as well not even talk to them. You know what I mean? Like you're putting a table in between you and your prospect or you and your brand new person. When you go on a date, I don't sit across the table from my wife. I sit right next to her. Why? Because I learned this. Somebody told me this. I'm like, I'm not taking chances. Here we go. Number 5. This is a great one, right? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. We must find out their action motivator. The whole reason why you open up a prospect is to do what? To find out their action motivator. An action motivator is basically the reason why somebody's going to get started in Riman. Okay? We always ask form questions. You guys have heard this a million times. Family, occupation, recreation, and money. Open door questions, right? Which are what? What, when, where, why, how. Those are called open door questions. And then we avoid closed door questions. Are you, do you, have you, can you? Why do you avoid are you, do you, can you, have you? Because you are going to get a yes or a no. Where are you going to go with that? But if you ask a what, when, where, why, how question, you're going to elicit more of a response. If I ask Josh, what's your favorite thing to eat? He's not going to go, yes. You understand? He's going to tell me what his favorite food is, right? Or he's going to think about it for a while. You guys see that? But if I say, are you hungry? He goes, yes. We went nowhere. You guys see that? So you ask what, when, where, why questions are the ones that are also as a presenter when you're doing it. When you're doing a presentation and you ask a what question or a when or where or why, you're getting the brain to think. That's how you paint people into the picture. I'm not talking about that this week, but on leadership in 2 weeks, I'll get into that. Okay, but when you paint people into the picture, that's how they visualize themselves getting started. That's how you become successful, okay? And it's always getting in the habit of doing what? Asking open-door questions. You follow what I'm saying? I'm saying, get in the habit of what? Asking open-door questions. You guys see what I just did?
Yes.
I gave it an open door one and then a closed one in the same sentence. We create a me too conversation and avoid a so what conversation. So when you're asking them what, they're going to respond other than yes or no, and they're going to give you an answer. Yes, right? You guys would agree, right? So what happens is what? Whenever they do that, they're going to give you more of a response, and then what? Then you talk about how excited you are either about that topic, or if you don't know anything about it, you say, what? You say, tell me about that. I've always wanted to know more about that. If I say, Josh, what do you like to do for fun? And he says, ski, and I hate skiing. I like snowboarding. Right? And I say, Josh, you're an idiot. Skiing is for dorks. You got to snowboard. Guess what just happened? This dude hates me. Do you guys see that? But if I go skiing, I've always appreciated skiers. Right? I've always appreciated. I just figured. I always snowboard because I feel like I'm too dumb, right? Because I'm like I want to be wilding all over the place, right? How did you get started in skiing? Tell me about that, right? You guys see what I'm saying? I've always been interested in learning how to do that. I'd love to go with you sometime. Where do you go usually? It's like boom, we're going, right? We're gonna dig down that hole and I'm gonna get a jacket. So basically, that's a me too conversation, not so what. A so what is like, so what? Who cares? Okay? So we give prospects the gift of attention by getting into what a prospect is saying. Okay? How do we do that? It's really simple, right? We give them what? Spoken and physical feedback. Always keep in mind what? Verbal and nonverbal cues build instant rapport. So when you're having a conversation with somebody, even when I'm on the phone, I'm doing this. You guys see that? I'm smiling. I'm laughing, and I'm walking around. I have to sit down on the phone. That's why Zooms are so hard. I have to sit down. I'm not used to that. I'm used to walking around. You guys see that? Because that's how I talk to people on the phone. I'm smiling. I'm nodding. I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, my God, tell me more about that. Seriously. What? No way. How'd that happen? Tell me more. You guys see that? Instant rapport. It's not hard to do. It's easy to do, mainly when you do it all the time. If you're like, okay, well, I'm going to get involved. When I do my Riman time, I'm going to turn into this awesome person. And then when I get out of Riman, I'm going to be a total idiot. That's not going to be the right thing to do. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm jacking up the person at the gas station just like I'm talking to you. Do you see what I'm saying? Gas station guy's like, man, that guy's having fun. You guys see what I'm doing? Okay. So watch this. Number 7 out of the 7 becoming an effective opener. Here it is. We always remember the psychologist, Dr. Maharabian. Okay? What did he do? He came up with the 7-38-5 rule. Everybody uses it. 7-8-35 rule, right? The UCLA psychologist that came up with this. They're going to give him credit. But this is why ignorance on fire always beats intelligence on ice. Why? Because communication is conveyed 55% physiology. Woo! That's huge. Do you guys see that? Physiology is the best way to convey a message. 55% of it is what? Your body language. Your facial expressions. Your posture. So good, right? 38% is what? Your tone. Usually your tone is going to match your physiology. If you're like, I'm really excited about Riman, your face matches your tone. But if you're not going to be like all excited and having great posture, and you're like, yeah, I'm really excited about Riman. You guys get what I'm saying? You can't have the physiology without the tone. So if you don't have one, you probably don't have the other. So you're batting, you got 7% to work with. So you better have a very good vocabulary. This is the Chico for me, because I'm not smart, so I don't know the big words. You guys get what I'm saying? I don't know how to spell stuff. I have to go back and edit this stuff later, afterwards, so all the red lines. But 55% is body language. So when you're meeting with somebody, if you feel confident, you're going to look confident. If you feel nervous, You're going to look nervous. So how do you be confident? The one-eyed person rules the valley of the blind. They don't even know what you're talking to them about yet. Do you guys do what I'm saying? You know way more than they do. You're an expert compared to them. They don't even know the name Riman. You know the name Riman. You're 10 times smarter than they are. Oh, God, it's so good. Because, I mean, when we got started, our verbal was way off, man. We're like, yeah, you know, the leopard grass, the lion grass, I like the cheetah grass. We had no idea what we were talking about. It's bigger. The cheetah grass is bigger, Riman. We're like, what? Dude, is this stuff going to make you run fast? I'm like, probably, dude. I don't know. We had no idea what we were doing. We would get people psyched up. We're like, we don't know anything about the comp plan, though, but we know it's good because our friends make a lot of money. Let me get somebody to talk to you. And Danny, the day we got started is the day Taiwan opened. So Danny was gone for the first month. So my sponsor wasn't here, and there's nobody above him. So, so we're calling Sung Bae, his brother, who works like an IT type guy, has no idea in sales or anything. We're like, show him the comp plan, Sung. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yes! And so he's doing the comp plan. We're like, this is insane! Sell him that again? We were just an assistant buyer. Oh, God, it's so good. So ABC, always be closing. Always be closing, right? Always be closing. Oh, man, this is good. 8 tips on how to become an effective closer, okay? Be confident, urgent, and use fear of loss. Fear of loss is the biggest thing. This is how I blew up, and I'll tell you guys that story. But 97% of the people are motivated by fear of loss, 3% are motivated by hope of gain. What does that mean? You're talking to people about how much money they can make? That's cool. Why don't you talk to people what's going to happen, that you're going to blow up and they're going to watch you get rich if they don't take action? Wow. Done. My first 6 months in network marketing, I signed up 0 people. I made $12.63. I had a couple customers. This is back when I was 17. The next 6 months made $147,000. How'd I do it? Just started fear lossing everybody. I was like, I can care less whether you do it or not. I'm going to get wealthy with this, dude. You're going to dislocate your hip, kicking yourself in the butt because I got rich and I showed it to you and you didn't do it. Dare me. Dare me to get rich without you. I dare you not to do this. I'll do it. Everybody joined. My entire high school. 250 out of 450 people in my high school class joined. It was like, you couldn't stop people from joining. I was like, dude, I found the cheat code. Best information I ever got was what I just showed you guys right there. People will be afraid not to join you when they know that you know where you're going. Super simple. Super simple. But if you're like, I hope this is going to work. Dude, no one wants to follow that person. Can you imagine that? If you wanted to go to the top of Mount Everest and your job is to get people there and you're like, okay, Michelle, I have no idea if we're going to make it or not. You want to do it with me? It's like, whoa, we die if we don't make it, right? So, no, you guys, you go anywhere with just confidence and knowing that you're going to make it happen, right? Have the application ready for them to fill out. Okay? I told you guys a couple weeks ago, right? When I took my wife on a date for the first time, I had my breath ready to go because I knew I was getting some kissy time. Hello? Confidence, baby. Right? Always expect everyone to get at least one premium set. Okay? At least one premium starter set. If you close the smaller kit, the smaller kits, it plants seeds of doubt in the prospect's mind. It just plants seeds of doubt. You're like, oh, I got started at with 4 premium packs, but you probably can only afford one 300-point pack, and you look all shabby. It's like, damn, dude, thanks for believing in me. When we got started, the first 38 people we recruited all got 6,000s with us. We were trying to get people not to. We're like, no, Julian. We were telling Julian, don't get just get 3,000, because we knew he was gonna make more money than we would. Right? We're like, wait a second. I just said that part of the comp plan. Danny's like, okay, if you get started at 6,000 and make sure that nobody else does, all that money's gonna come to you. I'm like, done. And I told everybody, don't get started at 6,000 like I did. Dip your toe in it, just get started with a smaller set. Everybody's like, wait a second, you get a 20% rebate instead of what, 10? Oh yeah, I'm doing that. Everybody got 38 out of the first 40 people. It's crazy. It's like, this is terrible. But we had team leader in like a week. But here it is. 3. Oh, this is so good. Ask a closing question and shut your mouth. I had to edit that because my wife goes, don't say shut up. I'm like, you're not gonna be there. He's like, don't say shut up, that's rude. But you gotta shut your mouth after you do what? Ask a closing question. This is critical. This is so important. Because most people will talk themselves out of it. Did you see a way for you to be? So I talked to Josh, and Josh's like, yeah, bro, right now I'm struggling financially. You know, I'm in between kind of career paths right now. I'm not really sure where I want to go. And I do a presentation. I say, did you see a way here for you to be able to supplement some serious money? Because right now I know you're in between what you're doing right now, and you're looking for a way to make some serious money. Did you see a way here to make it? Boom, give them an application, let them in. You guys see that? Once you find out what their action motivator is before you present to them, what do? At the end, did you see a way for you to be able to get your action motivator? And just shut your mouth. Sometimes you'll say, what'd you like best about what you saw? And then kind of jump on that, let them keep talking. Doesn't really matter what you say, as long as you don't say, what'd you think? That you just basically took a shotgun and just went, blew your foot right off if you say that. Blood everywhere. You're gonna be limping around for days. People don't make decisions based upon what they think. They make decisions based upon how they feel. Somebody goes, that's not true. Not me. I'm really smart. Tim, I'm a greedy. All right. Well, have you ever kissed anybody before? Because that's not the most cleanest part of their body. Oh, but emotionally it felt right, didn't it? Okay, so don't debate me on this, okay? Did you see a way for you to find your action motivator? Then wait for a response. If you keep talking, you lose. Keep talking and you lose. Ask a closing question. Be quiet. They're going to say yes. Yeah, so I'll wait for me to be able to do that. You're going to go, okay, so you saw it. All right, well, let's get you started. I'm going to walk you guys through this at the end, okay? So here we go. We always repeat an objection back in the form of a question. So once I start filling out the application and enrolling them, if they have an objection at that point, it's going to come up. Once that objection comes up, what do? I ask it back. Okay, now let me explain why. This will, A, show you're listening. B, it will diffuse a loaded question by using a pleasant tone. And C, give you time to remember your rebuttal. So if I'm talking to Josh, and I'm closing Josh, and we're filling out the application, we're getting started, and Josh says, well, he says, right now I just don't have a lot of time. Or maybe he says, I don't like network marketing, right? Perfect, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to repeat what he just said back in a pleasant tone and diffuse it right away. You understand? It's things that are loaded with insinuation, you diffuse it by repeating it back in a pleasant tone. So I'm saying, oh, so basically what you're saying is, Riman, what I showed you, you understand it made a lot of sense to you, but you just kind of don't like network marketing, right? He goes, yeah. I go, oh, perfect. You guys see that? You're gonna love this. You guys see that? Right, and what would I tell them? I would say, look, you and I both know, right? The average small business is $450,000 in the U.S., right? And we know that 65% of those fail within 5 years. The ones that are profitable, they are only going to profit 5 to 7%. These are facts that we know. Small Business Administration tells you and I this. You know that. You're a smart guy. Go, Riman, right when you get started, you're at 10%, and I can help you get to 30 within your first 30 days. If you're profiting 30%, you're ahead of a business that costs what? $450,000. Would you rather invest $450,000 with 5 to 7%, 45% chance of making it? Or get started with me right now. Start making some serious money. I mean, logically, somebody not liking network marketing is stupid. What do you not like about it? The free time or the money? What is the part you don't like? You understand what I'm saying? Like, what do you like to do? Make other people rich? I don't want to be in business for myself, become successful. I'd rather work for somebody else my whole life and make them rich. It's an IQ thing. But they don't really understand that because they don't know what they don't know. So I can't tell them, hey, bro, that's the stupidest thing you've ever said in your life. You said that out loud. I wouldn't say that anywhere because people might hear you. I'm not going to say that to them. You understand? But I'm going to show them. What did I do? I complimented them, didn't I? You and I both know, right? You and I both know, right? Because we're smart. We're business people. We know this kind of stuff. And then we look at this from a business perspective, right? When you put your business hat on, you and I look at this together, and what do we say? We say, wait a second. 10 to 30% right out the gates? Businesses don't profit that much. Ever. This is a no-brainer. We should probably do this. I mean, it's a no-brainer. But you have to diffuse it. Okay? You can't be afraid of any objection, okay? Number 5 is this. Persistence wears down resistance. 7 no's equals a yes. This is with everything, not just getting somebody started as a customer or a client or anything. So if I talk to somebody about anything, and they have an objection, I remove that objection, there's going to be another objection. Usually the objection is not going to be, the only objection somebody really has to do in this business is what? I don't think I can do it. They don't believe that they can do it. But the reality is that you can't follow the system and not become successful. It's impossible. You're going to learn how to do it. Like, I didn't know I could walk. I didn't think I could learn how to walk until I learned how to walk. Probably you were the same way, right? It's like, come on, dude. But you have to inject them with confidence, right? But always remember, if they're still sitting there in their chair, they want to get started. Just keep overcoming objections. If I'm sitting down with somebody at a pop-up, or I'm sitting down with somebody at a one-on-one, or I'm sitting down, whatever I'm doing, I'm talking to somebody about Riman all the time. If they're still talking, if they're still sitting there, what is their body telling you? They want to do it. How will somebody tell you that they really mean no? They'll walk away from you. Do you guys see that? If I'm still talking to somebody, they're like, well, I don't know. What they're trying to say is this: I don't have any confidence, dude. You have confidence. Will you help me? I'm going to talk about this in leadership, but it's super simple, okay? And it's the same thing for launching people. We're going to get into this next week, okay? But let me show you this. This is number 6. Always close. This was taught to me. I remember learning this because it was on the test. We had to take a test within the training. Always close for what they want, for what you want, and for the next event. When I got started, my training cost $500. My business cost $695. It was $1295 just to get started and get trained. We had a test after the training. We couldn't rank advance, so we passed the test. Whew, you guys have it easy. This costs you nothing. Some people close to live. That's commission breath. Right? People that close to live, you can smell them. You can smell the commission breath they have. Okay? While other people live to close. That's the people that are lock arms with me and I'll get you to the top. I don't get people started in this business because it's like, dude, like I could care less about my income. But what I can do for you, that's what it's all about to me. You understand? It's like, you know you're going to get wealthy with this business. You can't sit through this training and learn this information and not learn how to do it. It's impossible. But guess what? They don't have a chance. They don't know anything about this business. So you've got to be confident, sit there with them, and get them started. So I'm like, look, lock arms with me and I'll get you to the top. Now, if I tell somebody that and they don't come to training and they don't show up, what am I going to do? In my mind, I'm going to love them, but I'm going to know that they're probably not going to make it. You understand that? Like you guys right now that are here, you guys are serious. You guys are the people to invest in. You're what we call a smart investment. What's a bad investment? Somebody that says one thing and does something else. I'll be there for you 100%, committed. Be there, no matter what. Can I count on you to do the same? You better believe it. Let's do it. Let's lock arms together. We're going to have a training. What? I got to show up somewhere and learn something? I didn't know it was going to be that difficult. It's like, what? You understand? So you're looking for people like you that are committed. So if I'm sitting down with somebody and they're like, yeah, I want to do it, but I don't want to go to the training. Stop. Don't even do it, dude. What the heck would I want you on my team for? To waste my invest? Maybe I invest 6 months with you. And chase you around? No thanks. Just be a customer, dude. At least look better. You right? Like, the last thing I want to do is sign somebody up that's not going to be committed to training. They're going to be, hey, can you help me? You don't even know what you're doing. I'm going to have to keep helping you forever. You understand? I've already got 4 kids. And I got 3 that think they're my kids that live in my house too, right? So I've got... It's like, dude, what I'm saying is I don't need somebody to babysit, change diapers for. I'm teaching to teach. I don't teach people to learn how to do this. I'm looking for people that are like, look, I'll take this seriously. I'll learn how to do it. You give me that attitude, I'll take you to the top. You can't fail with that attitude. My mentor said, recruit attitudes, teach skills. Super simple, okay? And that's the reason why you don't want to have commission breath. Okay, you don't have to come to training. You're still going to be successful. It's like, no, you're not. Like, I'm not going to lie to somebody. It's like, you're going to get a driver's license without any driver's training? It's not safe to walk on the sidewalk. Right? But you know you guys are going to make it. You're here, right? You're plugged in the perfect system. And I hope you guys know who that is. I'm like, does anybody know who Mariano Rivera is?
Yep.
You don't know baseball. You're like, who is this dude?
The greatest closers.
Yeah, the greatest closer in the history of freaking baseball. Okay? Coming out of that bullpen, dude, I'm good. This game's over. The game is over when that guy walks in. Here it is. Number what? Number 8. No, number 7. People want what they can't have, so always use the takeaway approach. Use the takeaway approach. I use this more than anything else, right? If someone doesn't want to get at least a starter kit plus, 1,000 SP, take it away from them. Like, why? Because they're not going to unlock their unilevel. The first 30 days, they're going to do the most recruiting. Somebody doesn't get 1,000 SP, they're going to make 5% on their level 1 recruits instead of 10%. They're going to make 0 on their level 2 recruits instead of what? 5%. It's like, dude, get them as a customer. So take it away. Close them as a customer. Follow up after they fall in love with the products. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, they're going to fall in love with the products. Then what happens? Then they're going to be begging you to get started. But if you get somebody started when they just dip their toe in the water, how can you develop a toe? If somebody wants to learn how to swim, what are you going to do? Just dip your toe in the water. We're going to learn how to swim. It's like, dude, no, stop. They're not going to learn how to swim by dipping their toe in the water. What are you doing? Am I helping them or hurting them at that point? I know a lot of you are excited to get people started in your business. Like, I just want to get my team going. That's cool, but I'm not going to invest into somebody, my time, effort, and energy, if I know that it's not a safe investment. You understand what I'm saying? Like, why would you want to invest in that person? Think about it, logically. If somebody's like, I just want to get started for $20 and buy a bottle of cream. Just be a customer, dude. I want to get a 300 point, say, just be a customer. This is a business, dude. You understand what I'm saying? This is the business. Can you imagine? Like most businesses, like if somebody called you up when they're building that, remember the Inglewood, the big, huge stadium that cost like, was like, yeah, SoFi was like big. How many billions was it? It was like 2. Like let's say it's 2 billion. Somebody's like, hey, I want you to be an investor. It's gonna be 2 billion, here's gonna be return. Right? The problem is most people can't afford that. We're not asking somebody for $2 billion. You understand what I'm saying? It's not that substantial. But guess what? If people are just going to dip their toe in the water, take it away from them. Have a backbone, not a wishbone. You understand the difference? Some of you guys like beg people to join your team. It's like, dude, they're not going anywhere. Do you understand where they're going to be at in 2 years? If you basically look at what the last 2 years look like, the next 2 are going to look identical. Why are you begging them? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you think I'm going to be, please, Josh, join my business, please. Please. And then I'm going to be like, Josh, please, come to training. Oh, never mind, you don't even need to come to training. It's like, dude, you're basically investing into a dead horse. Right? You're like, okay, what horse is going to win? Ooh, that dead one over there is going to win the Kentucky Derby. My mentor said, he goes, Tim, you know why I invest time with you? Because I was always in the front row taking notes. I would take literally word for word everything. I would try to write basically the whole entire conversation. I'd record it, I would watch it back, and I'd write everything down. He goes, you know why you're a safe investment? Because you're going to win. He goes, never bet on a dead horse. He goes, I'll help you every day of the week. You see what I mean? I was like, yes. And then he said, I'm going to make sure you make it. I was like, oh my God. Because I had more confidence in him than I had myself. But those words, it was like, dude, you're going to run away with the money. But you've got to fall in love with the process of learning how to do it, right? Number 8 out of the 8 tips on how to become an effective closer. If you don't get the close, leave them happy, get them to the next event, right? Turn into a Riman public relations person, right? Make sure they had a great time and get referrals. You see what I'm saying? Like, you never want to pressure somebody into the business. Pressuring somebody into the business is the dumbest thing in the world to do. It's a way easier to take it away from them. Like, I see people trying to hard close and pressure people. It's like, dude, just take it away from them. They're going to freaking want to do it. You guys see that? You got to have a backbone, man. Like, if you know you're going to the top, you know you're going to become wealthy without a shadow of a doubt in your mind. Like, I know my name is Tim. If you told me my name is Tom, 0% chance I'm going to believe that. Somebody's like, you're Tom, dude. I know it for sure. You can call me Tom, and I'll agree. Okay, but I know in my mind I'm not Tom. I'm not even going to correct you. But in my mind, I'm going, okay, I know I'm not Tom. But go ahead. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? But what I'm telling you is that I know that. When I got started in Riman, I apped up and I signed up, there was 100% chance I was going to become wealthy in Riman. You see what I mean? Why? Because that's what I do. You have to believe. You have to have confidence. You have to know you're going to make it happen. Because you can't fail in this business. One way to fail is to what? Not start. Number 2 is to what? Quit. If you quit, you obviously fail. And if you keep on keeping on, you keep sharing a good idea long enough, guess what's going to happen? Somebody's going to say, me too, right? You're going to find the right people. But always leave people happy. You want people to be like, oh, I met with those great people. They're really nice. Oh, I love those people. You know what I mean? You want people like, oh, Riman, I sat down and Josh was like, man, you better get started right now. We'll pull your brains up. Like, no, dude. Come on, man. Like, dude, no. Take it away is the most best form to do it. Okay. Number 9. Cushions are mandatory in overcoming objections. This is the most important part. Okay. So let's talk about it. Okay. What's sympathy? What's empathy? This is from Zig Ziglar, right? Secrets Closing the Cell. Sympathy means you feel like another person feels. Empathy means you understand how the other person feels, though you don't feel the same way. I'm super empathetic. Sympathetic, I have 0. I'm not going to buy in and be like you. You understand what I'm saying? Someone's like, oh my God, the gas prices are too much. I'm not like, oh God, they are. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to buy into it. But I can relate to you. I can be like, oh my God, I know how you feel, right? I don't feel that way, but I know how you feel. Let me help you make more money. You guys get what I'm saying? See what I mean? So their empathy is great. That means you understand how another person's feel. You don't feel the same way, but you understand it. So the best example is what Zig Ziglar says. You see somebody throwing up on a ship. They're throwing up on a ship. And you're like, oh my God, I have so much sympathy for that person. I know how they feel. I feel sick too. Let me join them and throw up. Right? That's exactly sympathy. Empathy is like, oh God, I know how you feel. Let me go get you some Dramamine, some water, let me hold your hair. You understand what I'm saying? I'll hold your hair, but I'm not going to join you in throwing up in that bathroom. You know what I mean? Somebody hugging them. No, I'm not going to do that. Do you see what I mean? So and when you're closing, you have to have empathy, not sympathy. You're never going to be successful as a leader if you're sympathetic, because whatever somebody says, you're going to be like, oh, you understand? Somebody's like, oh my God, I bought one of the products in the boxes that were damaged. Oh no, let's cancel our business and let's go be failures our whole life. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be, oh my God, I'm so sorry that happened. That's terrible. I bet like you got that box, you're like, oh, this box is tinted. What is going on? Where's the bubble wrap, right? We gotta tell them to bubble wrap more. I'll send an email to Nikki, right? Take a picture of it. I'll send an email to Nikki. But I'm not gonna. You understand? Like, you gotta have empathy as a leader. If you don't have empathy, people are gonna be like, oh God, don't call them. They're not gonna listen. You want people to complain to you. You understand that? I want people to feel like, man, I want to go complain to Tim. Why? Because a complaint is an objection that I need to remove. That's holding him back from moving forward. Some people are like, I don't like when people complain. It's like, you not like making money? Because they're telling you what their objection is, dude. Remove it so they can move forward. It's super simple. You're helping your kids, they're getting bad grades, or they don't like a certain subject. I got bad grades in school. Do you think I encourage my kids to do that? No. I go like, if I would have only known what I know now about learning, I'd fall in love with it. So every day I wake up, school is cool, learning is fun. Let's go find out what we can learn today, guys. They just laugh. I go, we can acquire new knowledge today. This is going to be the most excellent day ever. And I just start laughing. I'm like, dude, you're crazy. But I just get them pumped. So here it is the 9 proven steps. Number 1, be over the top of your listening skills. You got 2 ears and a mouth. Travis, do me a favor, check on that video. See how we're doing. Okay. How many minutes? A cushion is a statement that acknowledges that they're listening, that you're listening to the prospect, heard their objection, and recognized its importance. How much time you got on it? Just how much time's it got? It'll tell you. When a prospect states an objection, our first action is always to cushion the objection. Okay? So basically, understand this. You want to understand and listen to their objection. Let them know that you're listening. The first action is to use a cushion. A cushion. You guys ever sit on the floor? When you get old like me and I sit on the floor, if I have to wrap presents and I sit on the floor, I can't get up. I'm like stuck. You know what I mean? So you gotta have a cushion, right? You gotta have a cushion. A cushion or your butt's gonna hurt, right? A cushion does not agree, disagree, or answer an objection, okay? By showing empathy, you create more of a positive and trusting relationship with your prospects. You want to make sure you're doing that, okay? So here we go. Number 6 is what? You got to turn, like, pause it if you want to change it up. The number 1 thing people crave more than anything else is to be heard and understood. You guys with me on that? People want to be heard and understood. Be sure to listen to their objection even though you may have heard it many times before. So important, okay? And understand them, jump on their side, become an assistant buyer, never argue with somebody. Never argue with somebody. That's the silliest thing in the world to do. You know what you're not going to have anybody ever say to you? I got in an argument with Tim. You're not going to hear that. You ask my wife, you ever been in an argument with Tim? Nope. I've been in an argument with him, but he didn't participate. I don't argue with people. I just agree with them. You get what I'm saying? If you disagree with them, and then you can slowly show them your point of view. Do you guys see that? But I don't get somebody, you know, people sometimes want to get in an argument. I want to get in an argument. It's like, what are we doing, dude? That doesn't make any sense, right? Wait until they're done sharing their objection, then use a cushion. Don't ever cut people off. God. When I watch people do this, I'm like, what are you doing? Did you eat a bottle of stupid pills today? Like, that's crazy. Cutting somebody off mid-session. I know what they're going to say, though. That's not the point. They want to be heard and understood. And you're going to want them to be heard and understood. Just let them talk. Don't ever cut somebody off. I'll do a call with somebody, like a Zoom, a one-on-one Zoom, with somebody I'm trying to present to, and talk for maybe 10 seconds. I'm just nodding my head, shaking my head, and just letting them talk. I'm like, I tell them, I only got an hour, right? I got another call at this time. And I'm like, hey, I got to jump off, I got another call, right? That I told you about earlier. But like, all right, man, I'm going to get started right now. They're already in, because I let them talk. You understand? It's all about doing what? Listening. You have 2 ears and a mouth for a reason. Listen twice as much as you talk. Okay, now this is a new one that I learned, URL. Watch this, okay? These are the three, we call these the big three cushioning exercises, okay? I'm going to teach it to you. I'm going to have you guys repeat after me, even the cool kids, okay? Number one is the URL approach. I understand exactly what you're saying. I can relate to that. Here's what I learned. So help me out, even the cool kids. I understand exactly what you're saying. Oh, come on, guys. Got to get louder and prouder than that, man. Woo! Physiology. Woo! Okay, here we go. I understand exactly what you're saying. I can relate to that. Here's what I learned. Boom. That's a great cushion, right? Another one is the old school feel felt down, right? Okay? Here it is, right? Help me out, right? I know exactly how you feel. Many people felt the exact same way. Here's what they found out. Ooh, you guys are getting good. Then the third one I'm giving you guys is called the appreciation approach. Help me out with this one, okay? I can appreciate your concern. The two of you are doing it. Trying to get in an argument, Tim? Okay, here we go. Thank you for sharing that with me. Let me share with you something to consider. Dude, anytime somebody approaches you and you don't say these things and you just try to do a rebuttal, don't even waste your time. All you're going to do is get in an argument with somebody. You want to see their point of view. You want to see their side of the story. Seek first to understand, then to be understood, right? We know that. Okay, here we go. Let's break this down. Why leaders love objections? You guys, it's got to get good now. Objections are the reasons your team are either laying, crawling, walking, or running to the next ring. This is the exact, like, you see the person running? Okay, some of you in the back might not go read that. It says, this person has removed all objections in their mind. That's why, when I see people not running that have the talent, but they're not running, there's something that's holding them back in their mind. And if I can find out what that is, and I can remove that objection, I'm going to get them to run. That's what we do. That's our job as a leader. How do you get people to maximize their potential? Find out what they're holding on to that's not letting them move forward. Look, do you think there's honestly something that somebody could come out with that would get me not to run? Like, let's face it, right? I'm working nonstop. You understand? Like, I'm in, 100%. You guys get what I mean? Like, dude, I'm in. All in. You think somebody can come with me and be like, hey, this is the reason why I'm not running. And I'm like, all right, maybe I should stop running too. Whatever reason they're not running for is whatever the reason is. It's stupid. It's stupid. But I can't tell them that. I need to find out what it is. I have to listen to what it is and try to find out. And it's not always the first thing. But I'm going to give you guys some how to do it, okay? Understand what objections are. An objection is whatever someone holds on to that prevents them from moving forward. Okay? 5 possible objections that you could listen for. Number 1, a complaint. Number 2, an excuse. Number 3, a concern. Number 4, misunderstanding. Or number 5, a question. People aren't going to come to you and be like, hey, look, you know what? I really want to unlock my greatness, but the reason why I'm not is because this box was dented. Do you understand what I'm saying? But they're holding on to something. So when somebody complains to you, what does that mean? Jackpot. I just figured it out. Now what do I have to do? Now I have to become a surgeon, not a butcher. You understand the difference? I'm a surgeon, not a butcher. So I've got to figure out how I can adjust those knobs in their head so they can figure this thing out. You see what I do? So how do I do that? I navigate. Sometimes I'll wait till their guard is down. I do this with my kids the most. If I can see what their problem is, and I know what their problem is by looking at the situation, I'm not confrontational. I'm not going to confront them. Because then I'm going to get into an argument, right? You guys already know how I feel about arguments. They go nowhere. So what am I going to do? I'm going to chill out, hang out with them. Right? We might go out to eat. We might go work out. And at the right time, when I know that guard's down, boom, 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 boom. Surgery. Surgery. You see what I mean? And I'm so smooth, you don't even know I'm doing it. Right? Don't even need anesthesia. Or what is it? Not anesthesia. Anesthesia. You don't even need anesthesia. You don't even need Fantasia, right? No, but you look for complaints. You look for excuses. You look for concerns. You look for misunderstandings. You look for questions. This is how you navigate people. But you can't navigate people if you can't figure out yourself. You understand? There's very few people that are needle movers. Do you guys see that? But understand as the sea rises, all the boats rise with it. If you started running and you gave 110%, you know how many needles you could move? There's nothing that anybody can say to you. You get it? There's nothing that somebody can say to you. You're no longer a battery. You now became a charger. You see the difference? You have no idea what would happen if you gave 110%. Lives would be changed and you don't even know. So here it is. Every leader shows up to an objection with a gasoline or water. Woo! You're closing them why it will work, or they're closing you on why it won't. You see the difference? You're trying to get them to come up with it. You're trying to get somebody else to come up with the answer. Because if they come up with the answer on their own, guess what's going to happen? They're going to stick to it. If you give them the answer, it's usually only temporary. So I give you an example, right? Football season's over, but it's time for my son to start training again. I know it, he knows it. Now, if I just start beating on him like, yo, dude, you start training again. He ain't going to stay committed to that. So I've got to navigate, plant seeds, and get him to come up with it. Where it's like, boom, nonstop. I'm training nonstop. You see what I'm saying? How do I do that? I do it when he started when he was 5. I started saying what? I'm so proud of how hard you work. I'm so proud of how hard you work. I'm so proud of how hard you work. Never, I'm proud of how good you are. That's another training person thing. Talent code will teach you that. But the parenting and leadership is the same thing. You guys understand that? Parenting and leadership is the exact same thing. Someone's like, I don't have any kids. I better actually go make some. Relax, Julian. Like, let's go down. Let's get out of here. We already know this stuff. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go through this real quickly. The six points for mastering the science of objections, okay? Objections are buying signs, not rejection signs. That's huge, okay? Because if somebody's complaining to you, guess what that means? They want to do it. If you're leading somebody and they're complaining to you, that means they want to do it. If they don't, guess what will happen? They'll join the witness protection program. They'll get abducted by aliens. Where did that person go? So you want objections. Objections are key, right? Objections are natural in the decision-making process and give us knowledge on where to spend more time. You guys see that? An objection is simply a sign that a person is seriously interested. Okay? Most objections are misunderstandings that need to be addressed or questions that need to be answered. It is my favorite one. There's no new objections, okay? Be concerned if you hear of somebody manufacturing antiques. You guys hear what I'm saying? Somebody's like, oh, check out these antiques I just manufactured. Watch out. And then always repeat the objection, use a cushion, jump on their side, become an assistant buyer. This stuff, you trust me when I tell you this stuff. Once you start applying this stuff, and you'll start with just a little bit. The first closing training I ever went to, man, I'm like, whoa, I could never do that. I'll never forget it. The lady that was doing the training, she was like top producer in the company. She goes, you turn to him, tap him on the legs, say, let's get you started. Let me see your credit card. Everybody do this. And she's like, and she made everybody, I'm like, I'm never gonna do that. 2 weeks later, I'm like, here, let me see your credit card. I was like, dang, dude. Confidence breeds confidence. So does lack, okay? So I'm telling you. So make sure you got all those objections are buying signs, objections are natural in the decision-making process, give you information on where to spend more time. An objection is simply a sign that a person is seriously interested. Most objections are misunderstandings that need to be addressed or questions need to be answered. This is from Objections book by Jed Blunt. Okay, some of you guys probably read that book. This is good information, okay? Let's get into this, okay? You're closing them or they're closing you. This is for your notes, okay? You're closing them or they're closing you. Somebody's closing you on an excuse on why it won't work for them, or you're closing them on an excuse on why it will. So these are some different ones. I actually printed all these out for you guys. Okay? This is only for people that are really honestly serious about this business. Okay? Because I'm like, why give everybody a machine gun? Maybe in case somebody wants to use it. What do they call them? AR-15s or what's that? I don't have a gun, right?
Where's Chris?
Yeah, where's Chris at? He'll talk to me about guns. But this sheet tells you all the objections. So all the objections that are up here are on this sheet. But what I did with it is I memorized all of them. When they taught me this sheet, guess what I did? Memorized them all. See how smart that is? How'd I do that? I practiced on my cat. You think I'm crazy? I am. And my cat's like walking around, like, oh, why are you a guy? Why should you do this? Good question. I'm glad you asked. I totally know how you feel. I felt the same way. Here's what I found out. 9 out of 10 beauty companies. You know what I mean? Like, I just do. You live with my cat. You guys see what I'm saying? Cats are hard, right? Cats are tough. You guys know how cats are. They don't care. They're moody, right? A dog's easy. My dog would just be licking me up, right? I tell him, oh my God, you're in, dude. Get this dog an application. Cat, man, you gotta get a cat just to be able to try to get him in, man. Does your faces, or if somebody says my products cost too much, right? Use a cushion, repeat the objection, use a cushion. Does your faces and jerky lotions are the best, right? Let's face it. How many faces do we got, right? Let's put the best stuff on our face. Would you agree with that? You want to look the absolute very best? Let's get you as a customer, right? I'm happy with my current skincare. Your skin looks amazing. Use a cushion. Oh, so you're happy with your somebody gives you an objection. What do? Repeat it. Everybody help me out and say repeat. Repeat. Oh, so you're happy with your current skincare? Hey, I know how you feel, man. When I got started, I used to sell skincare. So I had my own skincare that I sold $1 billion worth of. So I was pretty pumped about my skincare, too, so I can totally relate, right? But guess what I realized, right? You know, what is it I got? Does my face deserve this stuff that I'm selling, or does it deserve the best? My stuff was in microfluidized. You know how many patents we had? 0. This stuff's got 20 patents. I said to myself, you know what? Sell, you deserve the best. So guess what I did? I got some. Let's get you some too. Boom. Doesn't matter, right? Oh, I give you the products cost so much. Your skin looks amazing. However, when you try our products, you won't ever want to use another product ever again. Okay? We have 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Let's, except for a few wrinkles, right? So let's go. I just bought some other products. That one's in there. I'm a guy. Why should I do this? That's in there. I need to think about it. That's in there. I need to think about it. Oh, okay, cool. So you kind of understood everything I shared with you, but there's just a couple things that you need to think about. Hey, I'm the type of person just like you, man. I know how you feel. I felt like I'm that guy. Like, I like to think. But let me help you think together. What is it that you need to think about? Just ask it. Just be quiet. Oh, it's not bad. I'm just not good at sales. Oh. Look, I got started in this industry. I work in a go-kart track. I worked on turn 6 for Thunder Road. Talk about somebody that was not good at sales. It was me. I used to have to sell candy bars for football. Guess what? I would always not sell them. I would eat them all and say I lost it. I know how you feel, dude. That's how I was. But I'm going to share with you what my mentor showed me. He said, what hand do you write with, Tim? And I was like, I'm right-handed. What about you? Are you right or left-handed? Oh, you're right-handed too? Let me ask you a question. I paid you $100,000 a week. Would you learn to write with the other hand? Oh, you would? That's how I am too. If the money's right, we'll do it. There's just too much money in this not to learn how to find out how to do it. We have a system that will teach you how to do it. Let's get your application filled out so we can start making some serious money. Whose name do you want to come on your checks? Your name or mine? Let's go. Like, this stuff is so simple. Closing is like the easiest thing in the world, and it's the best thing in the world. But you have to learn this stuff. Like, if I didn't understand the rebuttals, in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, the price do cost too much. Like, there's not an objection. It's a pyramid scam. You ever heard that one? I asked him, oh, so you understood everything? You're like, hey, this is a pyramid. Is that what you're saying? Just for my understanding, what's a pyramid? They don't know. I know. They don't. So I'll just wait for the response. Yeah, it's like, and then I'm just gonna be like, look, obviously Riman's a direct sales company. I mean, let's face it, Warren Buffett, the wealthiest investor in the world, owns a network marketing company, right? He owns a direct sales company. He's not gonna get involved in anything shady. We're a direct sales company, and that's easy to see. Direct sales can help you make substantial income in a short period of time. You wanna make substantial income in a short period of time, don't you? All right, let's get your application filled out. Who's name gonna call your checks? I mean, it's like, stuff, so I don't have time. Oh no, I don't have time, excuse. Oh no, what am I gonna do? You understand what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay. You got gypped, right? I got 24 hours and they only gave you 18? What? No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say, look, what am I gonna say, Julian? I'm gonna break out a pen and paper and say, how much are you working? This is what I tell Julian. How many hours a week are you working?
You did that to me.
I go, let me ask you this, Julian. What are you sleeping, 8 hours a night? 54 a week? What are you doing, 42 hours of travel a week? Break it down. If you do the math on 168 hours, there's still 30 hours left over. After spending time with your family, after driving and eating and going to work 40 hours a week.
I have a picture of the paper still.
I told him, I said, bro, you used to be good. And Yvonne was right there. Oh, well, I'm just too busy. Really? Busy? You're gonna use a busy excuse on me, bro? I think I taught you that one better. Let's figure this thing out. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, people that are your friends, you can slap them a little bit. Like, I'm talking to somebody for the first time, I'm not gonna be like, hey, I thought you were gonna be pretty smart, you're dumb. No, I'm not gonna say that here. You get what I mean? But it's somebody that I've known for more than half his life. It's like my little brother. I'm gonna tell him, bro, you used to be good. I used to be proud of you. You used to make the right decisions. I go, with this, I don't have time? You're gonna tell me that? You might as well tell Jill that. Jill just beat you up. I don't have time. It's this 168 hours, break it down. Right? How many hours is it a day? You can break it down. It's pretty simple. I need to talk it over with my spouse. You know what that is? That's just a nice way of saying no. It's like, look, oh my God, you like to talk to your spouse too? That's how I am. I love talking to my wife. I like to talk to her about everything. Is that how you are? Oh yeah. How many years have you been married? Oh wow. Yeah, I've been married now 30 years. Here's what I found out. It's easier to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission, right? Let's get your application filled out. We can start making some serious money. Who's like, you want to come on and check your name or mine, right? I don't have any friends. You only need a few good people. If you had a wedding, how many people would show up? All right. I don't have 1871. I don't even know what it is. Like, whatever it is for a premium pack. How many years have you been working? Wait, and you have to save up 1871? It's time we do something about that, don't you think? If I told you I'd give you a brand new Mercedes-Benz for $1871, how would you get the money? I don't have why won't you pay $1871 for me? Well, obviously I know that Riman works, I just don't know if you're gonna work. I'm giving you a chance. If you don't believe in yourself, to get 1861 or 1681 or 15, whatever the premium pack costs, why would I invest time in you? Why would I invest money in you? Super simple. But you always remember, repeat the objection, use the cushion. Don't just start slapping people with rebuttals. You will like literally butcher people. Be a surgeon, not a butcher. Do you guys get what I'm saying? I'm satisfied with my income. I don't like what I do. I like what I do. I don't like what I do. If that's up there, I'm not interested. When are you not interested in making money or looking better, right? It's like, you're saying like, we have all these all work. They're gonna work by your ability to do what? To connect with people, open them up, then use a cushion. Trust me. You understand? You have to use a what? Cushion, or your butt's gonna get hurt. You're gonna get your butt kicked, right? Let me do some research, right? All this stuff is in there. Okay, am I really gonna make money? How much do you make? All that stuff's in there. I gave you guys all of these. I'll get started. My friends get started first. Emmeline is saturated. Okay, all that stuff's in there. Okay, I'm not gonna do every one of them right now because that's just wild. Okay, but let me wrap this thing up like a burrito. Woo! Here we go. Closing and objections. Prospect and plan bridge. Call to action. Here we go. See if you guys got this. Ask a closing question. Be quiet. If I did a good job at forming somebody at the beginning, I know what their hot button is. Josh, did you see a way here for you to make some serious money? I know you're in between what you're doing right now and you're looking for something. Did you see a way here to make some serious money? All right, cool. Let's get your application filled out. Pulling out an application and something close. You're like, I'm not using an application, Tim. I'm new age. My friends are gonna think I'm dumb. I gotta have the app. Pull out the app and fill it out for them. You understand? Like whatever you want to do. I'm old school. All right. I'll break out a whiteboard. Okay. But anyway, assumptive close. Just assume they're gonna close. They're gonna get in. I'm jumping right into it. That's called having confidence. People buy your confidence. Okay. Then what am I gonna do? Step 3: isolate the objection by repeating it back to them in a lower tone of voice. If Josh goes, I'm just really busy, I don't have a lot of time. Okay, so you're really busy. You don't have a lot of time? I can isolate that by saying what? I can simply say, so the only thing slowing you down right now from getting started is the fact that you don't think you have the time right now. Is that what you're saying? So now I narrowed it down to one objection. And if I say, Josh, if you can convince you, Josh, if you can convince yourself without a shadow of a doubt in your mind that there's time for this business, would you get started? Yeah, it's a done deal. Put a bow on it. You guys see what I'm saying? But you have to realize, if you're not committed to this business, teaching you this stuff is useless. Because you're going to sign up a lot of people and not help them. Do you understand that? That's why I'm so reluctant to teach this. Everybody's walking out of here today going, my God, this is great. Yeah, it's great for you, but why do you think I waited till week 9 to teach it to you? To make sure you're serious. You teach this to somebody? This is like how to use a weapon. You give a little kid a weapon, or we're all freaking got guts. So you use a cushion. How you feel, man? Felt the same way. I was like, man, I'm busy and broke. That's the worst place to be, right? And then what do? Overcome the objection. Let's take a look at how many hours and what we're doing with them. 168 hours. Let's go. And then what am I going to do? Step number 6 is what? Receive payment. Super simple. This was taught to me 30 years ago. It still works like it's never worked before. Like it's like unbelievable. It's not like this stuff is timeless. It always works. Like nobody can use this stuff and not get results. But it's the difference is you have to know where you are. Stand your ground. I'm going to the top, over, under, through. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like the best thing that anybody can ever do is get started in business with me. Because I'm going to make a monthly. Somebody's like, well, not me. I'm going to fight you. Then you cannot make it happen by avoiding me and not showing up at the university. But if you get started and lock arms with me and don't let go, how are we going to fail? I'm going to the top. You're going to see me waving from the top or dead on the side. Let's go. I'll take you with me. Let's go. Let's do it together. You gotta have so much confidence. You have to know without a shadow of a doubt in your mind you're gonna make it happen. Just like my name is Tim, I gotta have that same type of confidence. You gotta have that same type of confidence. Not that your name is Tim, okay? Now remember, next week we're doing an overview before. So if you want to do a little pop-up before, showing the products, right? 6:15, we're gonna open registration. 7 p.m., we're gonna start the overview and then the university. So unlike what we did today, which was what? Orientation, we're gonna do an overview. Okay? Make sure you guys understand that, right? That's gonna be starting next week. Okay? So guess what? You get new people here, okay? So let's make a commitment to drive with at least 2. You guys help me out. At least 2 guests with you on Thursday to the opportunity overview before the university. Okay? You want to do what? Mainly because I'm doing launching planners. That's going to be the perfect time to bring guests. Woo! That's going to be hot. Register today for Vegas. Last chance is today to get in on the early bird pricing special, okay? So you got to take advantage of that if you haven't already. Let's get a new planner, okay? The 7-day senior manager promo. I know you're like, whoa, that's hard. Dude, let's go. If you've been introducing people to Riman, we got all night long, baby. We got till midnight to sneak somebody in. Let's go. Let's get them started and get them that 7-day promotion. And then let's rank advance the team leader before the convention, before August 1st. So what's the month before August? July, right? Yes. July's got 31 or 30? 31, right? 31. Ooh, yes. So we got an extra day. So that'd be great. Everybody's got to make that commitment, okay? So let's talk about this real quickly. You guys all know MGM Grand, August 7th, 8th, and 9th. You guys know that single ticket is only $139. Today is the last chance to get in on that, April 30th. 10 ticket bundles only $9.99. I got Spain just called today and they bought 50 tickets. Spain bought 50 tickets. What? You guys know how far Spain is? A lot farther than it is for us. They bought 50 tickets, man. One guy did, not the whole Spain team, just one guy bought 50 tickets. April 30th, okay, his last chance. Tomorrow they're going up to 169. No, excuse me, 159, okay? Make sure you register, take that QR code and register today. Tonight's pay period deadline, everybody's sneaking in everything that they need to be able to get their points in. I know everybody's working on that right now. Friday is what? The rundown. What's happening on Friday? The what? Rundown. That's going to be at 5 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you take advantage of the rundown. Next week, we're going to be talking about what? What are we doing next week? You guys all know? Boom. Launching planners, okay? So real quickly, before we end, we're going to do a quick what? Woo! We got some good stuff in there. Oh, yeah, we're mixing it up today. All right, I'm going to give away. We got this right here, the soft. Hey, did you guys know what I was rocking today? Oh, I got my Riman socks on. So we got the cream, we got the hand cream, Dermatology EX package. We got moisturizing oil. Whew, I love that stuff. And then we got a snow enzyme. Plus we got 4 building your first year network marketing and 2 read a person like a book. So here we go. Let's start with the products first. First one gets the first pick. Here it is. Who's 526 106? 106. Who's that? Ah! Woo! Which one you want? Yeah, this is the hand cream. It's an exclusive item. Last chance to get it.